Morning everybody, welcome to today's session. I hope you've been having a good week so far. Let's get started. So we're going to take a stretch out before we start. Stretch that we've done loads of times before. Just interlacing the fingers, rounding the arms. I'm going to drop that head through the gap in the arms, just rounding the upper back slightly. Holding here as you're taking nice deep breaths in and out. So we're breathing in and out. Breathing in and out. Dropping those arms. Bring them behind, reach the arms away. Just lift the chest and the head towards the ceiling. Relaxing there again, interlace the fingers. Rounding the arms, drop the head. Bring those arms behind. Reaching back, looking up. And relaxing there. We're going to do our breathing. So we're going to lay on our backs. So, as you lay down, bring your knees bent. Your feet are flat on the floor. And your arms are just resting down beside you. We're going to be taking nice deep breaths in through the nose. Out through a pursed lip. Breathing in and out. So as you're laying here, you want to have your back in that slight curved position, so we're in neutral. You should be able to get part of your hand underneath your lower back. Excuse me. We want to make sure those hips are nice and level. So you're thinking about having a torch on each hip bone, they're shining up parallel to one another onto the ceiling. Keeping the upper body nice and relaxed. So shoulders away from the ears. Chest is nice and open. The weight is evenly placed through the feet. So big toe, little toe and heel. And we're just gently tightening in the tummy. From here, we're going to go into pelvic tilt. So as you breathe out, you're going to tuck the pelvis under to flatten your lower back into the floor. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to release back out. So tucking under to flatten, holding there, release back out. So as you're tucking under, you want to try and find a nice flat back position. So pressing the lower spine into your mat. We're trying to use just the tummy muscles and the pelvis to move. The next time we're tucking under, we're going to hold. So now we're holding our flat back position. We're going to start to tighten in the pelvic floor. So as you breathe out, you're going to tighten all the way in with the pelvic floor. Inhale to release. Exhale to tighten. Inhale to release. So thinking of the sensation of stopping a wee mid-flow. As you're tightening, you should feel as though your tummy muscles are working harder. That your back is slightly flatter into the floor. We're halving this contraction. So 50% tightening in the pelvic floor as you exhale. Inhale to release. So we still want to keep this relaxed position through the upper body. So shoulders are away from the ears and the chest is nice and open. If you are feeling tense, just turn your palms up to the ceiling, which will open up through your chest. We're pulling the tummy all the way down towards the spine. Keeping that weight even through the feet. Big toe, little toe and heel. Let's half one last time, so 20 to 25% tightening. So this should feel like a very gentle lifting. Something that you could sustain throughout any exercise if you needed to. It's just working in the background. So that flat back position should feel nice and strong. We're using the tummy muscles and the pelvic floor to help you to stay there. From here we're lifting both legs up into tabletop. So bring those knees above the hips, shins are parallel to the ceiling. And we're going to go into toe taps. So we're tapping one toe down and we're lifting up. Tapping down and lift. Tap down and lift. So to keep that nice strong flat back position, the tummy stays tightened. You're using your pelvic floor. Nice deep breaths. Keep those shoulders relaxed. Put two more on each side, tapping down and lift. Tapping down and lift. Last one each side, tap down and lift. Tapping down and lift. From there you're going to hug both knees in towards your chest. And then we're going to go onto our hands and knees for our stretch to our back. Grab yourself a drink if you need one. So we bring our hands underneath our shoulders and our knees underneath our hips. Your tummy should be nice and tightened here. As we breathe out, we're going to tuck the pelvis under. So we start to curve the back. We're arching the spine and dropping the head. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale, we start to go back to our start position. Working through the spine piece by piece. And the head lifts. So we're tucking under to curve. Arching the back. And dropping the head. Holding here to breathe in. Exhale to release back out. Let the spine follow. Working piece by piece to lift the head. So we want to get lots of movement through our backs. Working into each section of the spine piece by piece. So if there are any areas of your back that feel stiff or sore, we're just going to take our time to move through each section, slowing them down. So as we're tucking under with the pelvis, curving the back, you're pulling your tummy all the way in. As we're releasing out through the spine, want the shoulders to come away from the ears. Got 2 more here. This is your last one. We're tucking under to curve. Arching the back. Dropping the head. We hold. Releasing back out through the spine. Lifting the head. From here, I want you to push yourself back into a shell stretch, so bottom to the feet. Reach those arms out in front. From there, we're going to be on our sides. Grab a drink if you need one. So as you lay on your side, we're going to keep the legs together, one on top of the other. Knees are bent. Resting the head down and take those arms nice and long, palm to palm. We're lifting the top arm up so the fingertips point to the ceiling. Taking the head with us. We're twisting away. Holding here to take a stretch. Before lifting back up and over to come down palm to palm. So we're lifting that top arm up. There's a beetle on the floor. Oh, it made me jump, sorry. Lifting that top arm up, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, twisting away. Holding here, we stretch. Before coming back up and over. To come down palm to palm. So remember to keep those legs glued together and grounded. Making sure this twist is coming through your waist. You're really opening the chest. Nice deep breaths. Get the arm reaching nice and long from the fingertips to the armpits. You're looking at that hand for as long as you can. Keeping a good range of movement through the head. Let's take 2 more on this side. That top arm lifts, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you and twisting away. Holding here and stretch. Before lifting back up and over. To come down palm to palm, last one. Lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you. We're twisting away. We hold. Before lifting back up and over. To come down palm to palm. From here we're going on to the other side. It's just switching the end of the mat that you're laying at. So again, laying down, legs glued together, arms reaching out nice and long, resting the head down onto the floor. We're lifting that top arm up, fingertips point to the ceiling. Taking the head with you, we're twisting away. Holding here to stretch. Before lifting back up and over, bring the head with you to come down palm to palm. Top arm lifts, fingertips to the ceiling. Take the head with you. We're twisting away. We hold. Before lifting back up and over. To come down palm to palm. So remember those legs are glued together and grounded. Getting the twist through the waist, opening up in the chest. Breathe. Keeping the arm long, reaching from the fingertips to the armpits. We keep looking at that hand for as long as we can. Remembering that we want to maintain that good range of movement through the neck. Let's take 2 more here. We're lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you. Twisting away, we hold. Lifting back up and over to come back down. Last one here. Lifting up, fingertips to the ceiling. Taking the head with you. We're twisting away, we hold. Before lifting up and over to come down palm to palm. From there, roll onto your back and take a full body stretch. And then we're staying on our backs, but if you need to grab yourself a drink, then you can. on your back. We want to lay in a neutral position, so you've got that small curve underneath your lower spine. Your knees are bent and your feet are on the floor, and your arms are going to rest down beside you. So take a nice deep breath in to nod the head, chin to chest. Exhale to lift the shoulders from the floor, reach the arms nice and long. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to control back down. Nod the head, chin to chest. Exhale, lifting up. Holding here, breathe in. Control back down. So we want to use the tummy muscles to lift us here. Pull your belly button all the way down. We're using this chin to chest position to keep the neck relaxed. So nodding the head, lifting up, still using the tummy. Tighten your pelvic floor. Use the reaching of your arms to try and get those shoulders away from your ears. Nice deep breaths. Let's take 2 more here, and then we'll change the arms. Chin to chest, lifting up. We hold, control back down. Last one, chin to chest, lifting up. We hold, control back down. So we're then going to change our arms to reach across the body. We've done this all week, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's exactly the same. Chin to chest, lifting up. Reaching the hand over towards that knee. Back to the centre and down. Then we're going to swap sides. We'll be chin to chest, lifting up. Reaching across, back to the centre and down. Nice deep breaths. You can support the head here if you need to, so then you're going to take both hands behind your head and just reach one arm across to that leg and come back in. We still want to be using that chin to chest position. And your tummy and pelvic floor should be nice and tightened. We're going to take 2 more on each side, chin to chest and lift. We're reaching across. Back to the centre and down, chin to chest. We lift. Reach across. Back to the centre and down. 1 more on each side, chin to chest and lift. Reaching across. Centre and down. Last one of the head. We lift. We reach back to the centre and down. From there, you're going to hug those knees in towards your chest. And then we're going to be on our knees or on your fronts if you prefer. So if you are laying on your front, you want to have your legs out long behind you. With your hands mat width apart and in line with your ears. If you're in a knelt position, you're getting those legs nice and close together. Legs are out behind you. Just push that back. If you know you suffer from a lot of cramping through the calves, just going to tuck those toes under. If not, leave them resting down. Tall through the upper body. You just want to add a tiny nod of your head in, just to keep the chin relaxed. Okay, arms rest down beside you. Make sure those shoulders stay down. As you breathe in, tightening the tummy. You want to be pulling that in all the time. We're going to be leaning very slightly back. You're hinging from your knees. As you exhale, squeeze your bottom and use it to drive you back up. Inhale to lean back. Exhale, squeeze and lift. We're going to lean back. Squeeze and lift. So use those nice deep breaths, especially the exhale. Think of that driving you forwards. Shoulders are down. Nice and controlled. Let's take 2 more here. Okay, so from here we're adding those arms in, same that we've done all week. So one hand on top of the other, place them onto your forehead, or if it's more comfortable, come to behind the head if you need to. So again, we're going to take our breath in to lean back. Still have that slight nod of your head. Exhale, squeeze to lift. Inhale back, squeeze to lift. So if it's more comfortable to have the hands behind, you might find you can open up for your chest a little bit more there. Still having that nod of the head. Can make the movement smaller if you need to. 2 more here, we're leaning back. Squeeze to lift. Leaning back. Squeeze to lift, relaxing there. From there again, we're going to push into a shell stretch position. So take the bottom to the feet, reach those arms forwards. Okay, from here we're going to be going into the 100. Grab yourself a drink if you need one. So, for the 100 we're going to need to be on our backs. Just laying down on the floor while we talk through and I demonstrate. So, for demonstration purposes, just lay down with the legs bent and feet on the floor while I talk through. But what we want to do is have a really nice flat back position. So I want you to think about tucking under as much as you can to sink that lower spine into the floor. From here, you're going to have both of your legs lengthened up to the ceiling. So you'll lift them and then extend the legs. If you can't fully straighten your legs, that's really a comfortable position, that doesn't matter. All we're going to do is start to put a bend through the knees. So if you imagine my arms are your legs, you're just going to relax those knees until you find a position that's comfortable. So even if that isn't far off of tabletop, that's fine, as long as you can sustain it throughout the whole exercise. From there, you can either leave your head resting down looking up to the ceiling. And if your neck isn't sore, we're then going to put a chin to chest position and lift those shoulders with the arms long. Palms are just facing the floor. We're going to go into beating the arms up and down for 100 repetitions. 5 as you breathe in, 5 as you breathe out, which as always I will count, so the arms will look like this. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. From there, with your legs still lifted, your hands are behind your head. You're going into 2 sets of 8, sitting up towards those legs. Then we're going to change that to 2 sets of 8, reaching across to the opposite leg. Doesn't matter if your knees are still quite bent, just to wherever you can reach to. Then we relax, hug the knees in, and take a full body stretch. Okay? I will talk you through everything so that you know what's going on. So find that strong flat back position, and then when you're ready, lift those legs up. If when you lift your legs up, you can get a really long position and that feels quite comfortable, then you're going to start to take your legs towards the floor, but you need to keep your flat back. From here, we're going to nod the head, lift those shoulders off, get the arms nice and long. And we inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect floor, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Tummy in, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 more, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Staying here, take those hands behind the head. Your legs should still be lifted. We're sitting up for 8, 7, 6, 5, breathe, 4, 3, 2, 1. 8 more, 8, 7, 6, 5. Tummies in, 4, 3, 2, 1. Reaching across for 8, 7, 6, 5. Tummies in, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last set, 8, 7, 6. Breathe, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relaxing there, hug those knees in. And then when you're ready, bring yourself into a full body stretch. And if you need to, give those legs a little shake. Before bringing yourself up to sitting. So again, grab a drink if you need one. Okay, so we're going to do our pigeon stretch again. If I look like I'm really struggling to move around, it's that I'm trying some new advice on my pelvic discomfort, and so I've had to take out quite a lot of things I can do. That won't affect your class though, so don't worry about that. So I'm going to do the full pigeon stretch on both sides if I am able to, if I feel able to, but I'll demonstrate both. So this is a really good stretch I've talked about all week for getting around the side and into the bottom, and then lengthening the back leg into the hip flexors. So for your full pigeon stretch, you're tucking one leg in front of you, like as if you were going to cross your legs, and the other leg is longer behind you. As long as you can get it, doesn't matter if the toes are tucked in or if you need to lift the knee. If that's too uncomfortable for you, especially the front leg, you're going to bring that front leg forwards towards your hand, and the back leg will then be long and away. That's as long as I can demonstrate without being in too much pain this side. You can again have the toes tucked under or the knee lifted if you need to. So, find that position that you want to be in, and then you're either going to be in on long arms, lifted up, or if you're more comfortable, you can drop down onto your forearms. Doesn't matter if you start with one and change halfway through here. We're just going to hold to take nice deep breaths. If you are in this lifted position, don't let that head then drop. Stay looking out in front of you. Hopefully you've got something nicer to look at than breeze block like me. And if you feel like that stretch is releasing your muscles a little bit, try and come down onto those forearms if you can. and change legs. So decide which position you want to do, with either the leg tucked under in front, or stepping the leg beside your hands. So again, either on that long arm, looking up in front, or dropping onto your forearm. Doesn't matter if one side is different to the other. Getting those nice deep breaths. Just see if you can drop yourself down. I'm going to release out of that stretch. And of course grab a drink if you need to. So from here we're going to do our twisting stretch, which we've done a little bit this week as well. Excuse me. So you're going to tuck one leg in, and once that leg is tucked in, you're going to lean into that hip and place your weight into your hand. Your other leg, your free leg, is going to come across, hopefully towards the knee, but don't worry if you can't twist that far. From here, I want you to twist towards the hand that you've got supporting you, so towards the hip that you're putting your weight into, and then push into the knee that's lifted. Try and look over that shoulder if you can. So just getting a nice twisted stretch through the waist. Keeping your legs the same, we're going to twist the other way. So you're then going to take your weight into the other hand, twist towards it and pull that knee in towards you. Remember those nice deep breaths. Relaxing there, we're going to swap sides. So you're placing the other leg into that half cross position, leaning into that hand, bringing the other leg across your body. So you're twisting towards that back arm, pushing the leg away. From there, we're going to take our weight to the other arm. The legs stay the same. So twisting over the shoulder and just hugging that knee in towards you. Relaxing there. From there, I want you to bring both of your feet together. So we're in our frog position. I'm just going to pulse those knees up and down. So you're just going to really get into the hip socket. From there, you're going to relax that pulsing up and down. Just drop yourself forwards towards those feet. If you want to increase that stretch, you're just pushing your elbows in towards the legs. So you're really opening up in your hips here. Good. From there, we're going to be laying on our backs. Grab yourself a drink if you need one. position. So, same as we have for the 100, you're nice and tucked under. Lose that gap underneath your lower spine. From here, I'd like you to lift both legs into tabletops. We just want the knees above the hips, shins parallel to the ceiling, and your hands will be beside your knees. So you should currently be looking up towards the ceiling with that flat back. If your neck isn't sore, we're going to nod the head and lift the shoulders. If it is sore, just look up to the ceiling. As you breathe out, you're going to reach one leg long and away from you while the other leg stays bent. Inhale to the centre, and we're going to swap sides, reaching long and away. Come back to the centre. Reaching long and away. Back to the centre. Nice deep breaths. So as you're reaching your legs long and away from you, I don't mind how high or low that leg is moving, as long as you're keeping your nice strong flat back position. So tummy is tightened, you're using your pelvic floor, and you're getting the leg that you're moving as straight as you possibly can. Your leg should not touch the floor. It can hover away from the floor, but it shouldn't touch the floor. You want that chin to chest position, keep your neck relaxed. Think shoulders are down. Let's take 2 more on each side, reach long and away. Back to the centre, reaching long and away. Back to the centre, one more time on each side, reach long and away. Into the centre, reaching long and away. Back into the centre. From there, relax down and hug your knees into your chest. So we're going to stay in our flat back position, still nice and tucked under, losing that gap. This time, your legs lift again into tabletop, so shins parallel to the ceiling, knees are over your hips. But this time our hands are behind our head. No, they're not over our head, sorry, they're behind our head. I can't speak today. Chin to chest, lift those shoulders from the floor. I still want you to reach one leg long and away from you. As you're doing that, you're going to twist your upper body over towards the knee that you've left behind. Inhale to the centre, and we swap sides, reaching long, twist over, coming back to the centre, reaching long and twist over, coming back to the centre. So you still want your leg to reach long and away from you. Just adding in that nice twist of the whole of the upper body. Doesn't matter how high or low the leg moves, as long as it's not touching the floor. And you're going to lose that flat back as you twist. Just make sure you're really strong at finding it when you come into the centre. Twisting away. And in. You have 2 more on each side, twisting away. And in. Twisting away. And in. Let's take one last one on each side, twisting away. And in. Twisting away. And in. From there, hug those knees in. Just rock yourself from side to side. Staying on your back, but we're not in a flat back this time, we're in a curved position. So you're in neutral. These are bent feet on the floor. Arms are just resting by your side. Leave your head looking up towards the ceiling. We're going to take a nice deep breath in to prepare. As you exhale, squeeze your bottom and press into your feet to lift your hips up as high as you can go. Take a deep breath in to stay. Exhale to come back down. So you don't need to roll through the spine here. You're going to squeeze the bottom, lifting up. We hold, control back down. Try to make sure that your knees are in line with your hips. So you don't want to have them knocking in together. You don't want to have them splaying apart. Just nice and controlled. Squeeze to lift. Control back down. So we're keeping the weight even through the feet. Big toe, little toe and heel. The tummy is nice and tightened. That's going to stop you from pushing up through your chest or your ribs. Use your pelvic floor. If your pelvic floor is working as you're lifting those hips up, then you're going to strengthen deep into those lower tummy muscles. Get the shoulders away from the ears. Open up through your chest. You can turn those palms to the ceiling if you need to. We've got two more here. We're going to hold the last one lifted. So we're going to squeeze and lift. Holding there. Control back down. This is your last one. It stays high. Squeeze and lift. So here, make sure your hips are as high as they possibly can be. Keeping the squeeze in your bottom so your hips stay where they are. You're going to squeeze your legs in together and release. So the legs squeeze in and touch, and they release. Squeezing in and release. Deep breaths. So the hips stay high, it's just the legs that are moving. Nice deep breaths. 4 more here. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Last 2. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Check those hips are high before you control back down. Take those legs out long and give them a nice shake out. From here, we're going to come onto our hands and knees. Remember, we can grab a drink if we need one. Just get rid of this. So we're going to do our knee lifts from the floor. So you're going to take your hands underneath your shoulders. Your knees are underneath your hips. And we're going to tuck those toes under. As you breathe out, you're going to pull your tummy in as much as you can, pressing into your hands and your feet to lift your knees off just an inch or so from the floor. Inhale down. Exhale to lift. Inhale down. Of course, if you know you suffer from really bad wrists, you can drop yourself down to your forearms. We're doing a walking plank today, so you're going to need to try to stay on long arms if you can. So if it's a choice of one or the other, exercise-wise, drop down for this one. So lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Nice deep breaths. I want you to also think of keeping that head in line with the rest of your spine. So just make sure that you're not dropping it down or pushing it too far up. So if you're on long arms, you're thinking of looking just past your fingertips. If you're on your forearms, you're just looking straight down to the floor. Let's take 4 more here. We're lifting up and down. Lifting up and down. Last 2, we're lifting up and down. Lift and down. From there, take your shell stretch back. Whilst you're in that stretch, you can just take a roll through those wrists. Really stretching out into your back. Once you've finished having a stretch, just relax there. Grab yourself a drink if you need one. Okay, so for our planks, we're going to be standing. Hopefully I'm still in shot here. Yes, just about. Just chopping off the top of my pineapple hair. So stand at the end of your mat with the rest of the mat in front of you. If you've done any other sessions this week, then the plank is exactly the same as what we've had it. If you haven't, but you've been to class, you'll have done this before, and if you haven't done any of those things, don't worry, because I'm going to demonstrate as much as I can and talk you through. Let me just blow my nose first. So obviously I can't go into a full plank, but I can demonstrate the walk out, and then for my plank I'll be on my knees, okay? So stand with those legs nice and close together if you can. You're standing up tall. Just let that motorbike go past. From here, you're going to tuck your chin into your chest and start to roll down. I want you to try and get as much movement through your back as you possibly can. You're reaching towards the floor. Doesn't matter if you can't touch the mat, you're then going to bend your knees until you can. Start to walk your hands forwards. We're coming as far forwards as you possibly can. If that's just a downward dog, then that's where you stay. If you're able to walk yourself all the way into a plank, then that's where you're going to go. Holding there to take a breath in and out. Then you start to walk your hands back towards your feet. Bend those knees if you need to. And you're rolling all the way up through the spine, piece by piece, to stand up nice and tall. So we're going to roll down, chin to chest. Start to drop towards the floor. You're taking your time, there's no rush. Bending those knees until you can touch the floor. Start to walk the hands forwards. As far as you can go. If you are just in your downward dog, that doesn't matter. It's more important that you can get back up. Hold that position for your breath in and out. Walk the hands in towards those feet. Bending the knees at any point if you need to. Rolling up through the spine. So I want you to really concentrate on the roll down and the roll up just as much as your plank, okay? So take your time. Doesn't matter if you're not in time with me, these are at your own speed, but you're not rushing them. Just really concentrating on moving through each section of your back. Piece by piece. If you're coming into that plank, just be aware that you're not dropping your hips too far down. A long line. Just little small steps back with those hands. So this exercise is really working every part of the body. We're articulating through the spine, getting loads of movement to loosen up the back. We're reaching and lengthening through the arms and through the legs, bearing weight in the wrists. That's really good for strengthening them. Stretching those legs in your downward dog. Excuse me. And then strengthening in the tummy, the bottom, the shoulders, the back when you come into that plank. And then all of the same, but reversing it as we walk back in and concentrate on restacking the spine piece by piece. Breathe the whole time that you're doing this. Please don't hold your breath. So if you need to hold that plank just for a little bit longer, obviously you can. Same with that downward dog. If you want to pause in that stretch, I'm more than happy for you to do that. So we're going to take 2 more here. Again, in your own time. Really working through the spine. Using that breath. Rolling up. So we've just got 1 more here. Really working through each movement. Piece by piece. Don't rush it because it's the last one, just take your time. And then rolling up. Just make sure you finish with that nice tall stance. Good, relaxing there. Fantastic. We're going to come into a stretch because I'm just about in shot. I'm going to stay standing. It's just too much effort for me to get up and down from the floor at the moment. So from here, we'll take a nice roll back of the shoulders. Still taking nice deep breaths. Still tall, lift that chest. And forwards. Roll through the shoulders. Take those arms out to the side. Going to lift ourselves up. We're stretching over. Coming back to the centre. We're lifting up. Stretching over. Back to the centre. One more time on each side. Lifting up. And over. Back to the centre one last time. Lifting up. Reaching over. And relaxing there. Thank you so much for joining me today. That's the end of the class. Thank you for joining me today. Oh, the sun looks like it's trying to creep through. Hopefully no more rain for today and we can get outside for a little bit. I hope to see lots of you tomorrow. If not, thank you for joining me for the week so far. And have a lovely day. See you soon. Bye-bye.